As a brain doctor, I'm shocked. This 40-second trick lowers stroke risk instantly. If someone told you that just 40 seconds a day could significantly reduce your risk of stroke, would you believe it? I was skeptical too. As a brain specialist, I've witnessed hundreds of strokes happen in an instant, many of which could have been prevented if the patient had known one simple thing. Yet that very simple thing is often overlooked. And that's why today I want to share it with you. Have you ever woken up with a heavy head, a little dizzy, feeling as if your body wasn't truly awake yet? Or maybe some mornings you felt an odd discomfort in your chest, as if something wasn't right, only for it to pass and you quickly forget about it. Those small signs, when they repeat, may actually be warnings your brain is trying to send you. What shocks me is this. Just one small adjustment, less than a minute, can make a real difference. No medication, no equipment, just knowing what to do and knowing where to start. The question is, why hasn't anyone told most people about this? We're not going to talk about exercise routines or strict diets. We're going to talk about things you already do every day, like lying down to sleep, sitting to watch TV, or even breathing, but in a different way. A way that, when applied, quietly reactivates the most vital flow in your body, the blood carrying oxygen to your brain, helping you feel clearer, steadier, and most importantly, reducing your stroke risk without having to live in constant fear. I'll guide you step by step, clearly and simply, in a way you can apply right away. But first, there's one thing you need to check tonight, the very first, simplest step, and yet the one most often done wrong. Do you want to know what it is? Then let's begin, not with medicine, not with machines, but with the very bed you sleep in every night. 1. Sleeping on your left side. When you lie down in bed each night, which position do you usually choose? On your back, on your right side, or curled up in the same way you've done for years? For most people, it's simply a matter of comfort. But for a brain specialist like me, it's a story of blood flow, of vascular pressure, and sometimes of survival. Did you know that simply lying on your left side when you sleep can help your heart rest and significantly increase blood flow to your brain? Let me explain this in the simplest way. Your body has a highway called the inferior vena cava, which carries blood from the lower body back to the heart. This vein runs along the right side of your spine. When you lie on your back, the weight of your abdominal organs can press on it, especially as you age and connective tissue weakens. But when you lie on your left side, you release that pressure, allowing blood to flow more freely. The question is, if this is so effective, why haven't most of us been told about it? A study published in the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine found that people who slept on their left side had better oxygen flow to the brain and a significant reduction in sleep apnea. Sleep apnea is not just about snoring. It's those moments when your brain is starved of oxygen. And if you've ever woken up feeling exhausted, with your heart racing, or with a vague sense of not feeling well, the culprit may lie in the very way you sleep. You don't need a special pillow or a new bed. All it takes is a soft pillow placed behind your back to keep you tilted on your side. Try it tonight. When you get into bed, instead of lying flat on your back as usual, gently roll to your left. You may begin to notice a difference, not instantly, but night after night. And if you're wondering, can just lying on my side really make my brain healthier? Then wait for the next part, because there's another very familiar habit, one you do every single day, that may actually be slowing down your blood flow without you realizing it. 2. The right sitting posture for better circulation. Think about the times you sit down to watch TV, eat dinner, or read in the living room. Do you ever notice how you're sitting? Have you ever unconsciously tucked your legs up on the chair, crossed them, or leaned to one side because it felt comfortable? These seemingly harmless postures, repeated day after day, can actually be the reason your blood flow weakens, Oxygen delivery to the brain decreases, and your stroke risk rises over the years. Have you ever felt your legs go numb after sitting for too long, or experienced heaviness in your calves without knowing why? That's not just aging. It's a signal that your circulation is struggling. When you hunch your back, cross your legs, or let your feet dangle without touching the floor, you're unknowingly creating knots in your vascular system. Just like a kinked water hose, the flow is restricted. Blood has a harder time reaching your brain, and that directly affects your brain's health. According to research from the American Heart Association, older adults who sit in poor posture for long periods face a higher risk of venous disease, blood clots, and blood pressure irregularities. But the good news is this: a small adjustment can make a big difference. Sit with your back gently straight, not stiff or rigid. Keep your feet flat on the ground, knees at a right angle, and shoulders relaxed. No special equipment, no complicated techniques, just awareness every time you sit down. Next time you take a seat at the dining table or on the sofa, pause for a few seconds. Ask yourself, are my shoulders slouched? Is my back rounded? Are my feet tucked in or barely touching the floor? Sitting properly, as simple as it sounds, helps your heart pump blood more effectively and ensures your brain gets the oxygen it needs every moment. And if you're thinking, can sitting properly really lower my stroke risk? Then the next part will surprise you even more. Because sometimes, just a small area of tension in your body can be enough to block blood flow to your brain without you even realizing it.
3. Wall-supported neck relaxation, relieving pressure on the carotid arteries. Have you ever felt foggy-headed, slightly dizzy when standing up, or as if a cloud had settled over your memory? Many people assume this is simply aging, and in part, it is. But another reason, less often discussed, is that blood flow to your brain is being restricted by the tension building up in your neck and shoulders. The neck is where your carotid arteries pass through, major vessels responsible for delivering blood and oxygen to the brain. When you spend too much time looking down, bending your neck, or carrying the weight of stress, the muscles in your neck tighten, squeezing and narrowing the flow in this critical region. The result? Persistent fatigue, difficulty concentrating, or that unsettling brain fog. And this isn't just uncomfortable, it can quietly become dangerous if left unchecked. A clinical review in Frontiers in Neurology showed that tension in the neck muscles can significantly reduce blood flow to the brain, especially in older adults. This isn't just a feeling, it's a physiological fact. And the good news is, you can reverse it with one simple action that takes less than a minute. Try this. Stand with your back against a wall. Keep your heels about 1 inch, 2 to 3 centimeters away. Then, gently press your lower back, shoulders, and the back of your head so they touch the wall. Lift your chin slightly, as if you're lengthening your neck toward the ceiling. Hold this position while taking deep breaths. No straining, no forcing. Just relax and feel the tension in your neck release. This isn't just about fixing posture, it's a way to untie the knots that restrict blood flow to your brain, little by little, each day. You can do this before bed, while waiting for water to boil, or simply after sitting at the computer for a few hours. Think of it as a gentle reset for your nervous system, and it's completely free. Now, have you ever imagined that just a few seconds of leaning against the wall could do something even medicine struggles to replace? And if your neck can influence blood flow that much, you'll be even more surprised to learn this. Your legs, far away from the heart and brain, can actually help reduce stroke risk with just a small lift.
4. Elevating your legs while sitting. Have you ever sat for a long time and felt your legs grow heavy, numb, or noticed slight swelling around your ankles? Many people assume it's just part of aging, but in reality, those feelings aren't just fatigue. They're signals that blood is pooling in your legs instead of circulating smoothly back to your heart and brain where it belongs. Gravity pulls everything downward, including blood. When you sit for long periods with your legs hanging down or bent, your veins have to work overtime to push blood upward. If circulation slows, it can pool in the lower limbs, causing swelling, heaviness, and over time, even blood clots, silent, dangerous clots. And if a piece of that clot breaks loose and travels to the brain, well, you already know what could happen. A study published in the Journal of Vascular Surgery found that gently elevating the legs while sitting can reduce venous pressure, significantly lessen fluid retention, and, most importantly, help blood return to the heart and brain more efficiently. This is especially critical for older adults, as venous valves naturally weaken with age. The change is very simple. Whenever you're reading, watching TV, or eating dinner, place low stool, thick pillow, or sturdy box under your feet, just enough to lift your heels slightly off the floor. You don't need to raise them high. You don't need yoga poses. You just need to give your circulation a little natural support. You can even combine this with light toe tapping or ankle rotations to wake up your calf muscles, often called the second heart of the body. And remember, don't wait until your legs swell to do this. Make it a daily habit, a way of protecting your circulatory system a little at a time before anything serious develops. Now you've seen how your sleeping position, sitting posture, and even the placement of your legs can affect blood flow. But there's one more thing, something you do every single day without noticing: breathing. And not just ordinary breathing, but a specific type that can reactivate your nervous system, lower blood pressure, and calm your whole body in just 40 seconds. Are you ready to discover it?
5. Deep abdominal breathing, improving brain circulation and blood pressure. Are you breathing right now? Of course you are. But pause for a moment and notice. Are you breathing with your chest, shallow and fast, or with your belly, deep and slow? That simple difference can act like a switch for your entire circulatory system, especially once you're past 60. When you breathe shallowly, your body stays in a low-level stress state. Heart rate goes up, blood vessels tighten, and your brain, the organ that needs oxygen the most, actually gets less of it. But when you shift to diaphragmatic breathing, also known as deep belly breathing, you're sending a message to your nervous system. It's safe now, you can relax. And almost instantly, blood pressure begins to drop, circulation improves, and oxygen delivery to both the heart and brain increases. A study from Harvard Medical School found that practicing deep breathing for just a few minutes a day could lower systolic blood pressure by up to 10 mmHg in older adults. For anyone living with stroke risk, that's not a small number. It can mean the difference between red alert and safe zone. Here's how to do it. Lie on your back or sit comfortably. Place one hand on your chest and the other on your belly. Inhale deeply through your nose. Your belly hand should rise, while the chest hand barely moves. Then, exhale slowly through your mouth. Repeat for 40 seconds. You'll notice the difference, not only in your body, but also in your mind. At first, it may feel unfamiliar, but the more you practice, the more you look forward to this moment of true breathing. A single deep breath can become your natural medicine, helping you manage stress, lower blood pressure after a long day, or simply reset yourself before sleep. Have you ever thought that just by lying down and breathing the right way, you're protecting your heart, nourishing your brain, and adding years to your life? And if you're ready to take one step further, get prepared, because the final position will take you against gravity itself. A quiet, gentle posture, yet one of the most natural ways to help blood flow back to your heart and brain at the very time your body needs rest the most. 6. Legs up the wall, reversing blood flow, calming the nervous system. Do you know when your body needs you the most? Not when you're racing against time, but when you stop, lie down, and listen to yourself.
And today's final practice is for those moments. A simple, soothing movement that can reverse pressure throughout your entire circulatory system in just 40 seconds. Picture this. You're lying on your bed or the floor, hips close to the wall, and you gently raise your legs upward, letting them rest against the wall in front of you. No strain, no effort. Your arms rest at your sides or on your belly. Soft light surrounds you. It's just you, your breath, and your blood quietly flowing back to your heart and brain. When you lift your legs higher than your heart, you're doing something profoundly valuable, helping blood from the lower body return more easily without forcing your heart to pump harder. This reduces swelling, eases the feeling of heaviness in your legs, and is especially helpful for anyone who spends long hours standing, sitting, or showing early signs of varicose veins. A study in the Journal of Physiological Sciences noted that the legs up the wall posture improves blood flow back to the heart, lowers heart rate, and calms markers of nervous system stress. Participants also reported better sleep, gentler mornings, and a greater sense of ease after practicing. This position isn't only good for the body, it's a pocket of peace for the mind, as if you're releasing pressure from the entire day. Just 40 seconds, but practice regularly, it can become one of the deepest restorative habits you'll ever cultivate. Next time you feel drained, your heart racing, or simply wish to let go of everything for a while, try lying down, lifting your legs, and breathing evenly. That small act is a way of returning life to your heart and brain, gentle, lasting, and full of care.
And so, we've now journeyed through 6 simple techniques, each taking less than a minute, requiring no special equipment, demanding no perfect health. But together, they form a chain of small yet powerful habits that can change how blood flows through your body, one day at a time. You've learned to sleep on your side to ease pressure on your heart. You've discovered how sitting posture can affect both arteries and veins. You've seen how just a few seconds against a wall can open the pathway for blood to your brain. You've realized that lifting your legs slightly can ease the heart's workload. You've breathed deeply, truly deeply, and felt calm spread through your whole being. And finally, you've laid down, lifted your legs up the wall, and given yourself the gift of peace and restoration. There's no single move that works like magic, but it's the repetition of these seemingly small actions, day after day, that creates the greatest transformation. And perhaps the most beautiful part is this: you don't need to overhaul your entire life to care for your circulation and your brain. You simply need to be present in each moment, each breath, each gentle movement. That isn't a strategy, that's love for yourself. So tonight, or even right now, which posture will you choose to begin with? Will you lie on your side, elevate your legs, or simply lean against a wall and take a few mindful breaths? Whatever you choose, let it be the first signal of a chain of positive change. If this video has brought you a sense of relief, inspiration, or simply the feeling of being understood, share it with us. Type 1 in the comments if you'll try at least one of these tips today, or type 0 if you're still unsure. We'll respond to you. And if you'd like to continue receiving gentle, science-based guidance designed especially for those over 60, don't forget to hit subscribe. This is the place where you'll always be heard, always supported, and where someone, like me, will always stand by your side.